Purr? What are you doing? Huh? You cute little kitty? You cute little kitty cat, you? What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin and the altcoin markets, because I know a lot of people are kind of wondering right now what they should be doing. They're watching Bitcoin rally up like crazy over 16,000, and they're watching also at the same time as the altcoins kind of relax a little bit. It's not necessarily that they're dropping super hard right now. Some are actually even rising, but they're just not taking off like Bitcoin is. So this leaves people wondering and asking themselves, well, what should I do? So I'm going to answer that in today's video. So you guys see this river behind me? I'm going to use this river as an analogy for the way that the altcoin markets actually work. Now, if you can imagine a river, the kitty is coming up to me again. If you can imagine a river where there's two splits in the river. So the river is going straight down, and then there's a split in the river. Now, on the right side of the river is a lot wider. It's a very, very wide, big, high volume river. And the water has been flowing down that river for quite some time. And so it's left a lot more of an engraving aspect into the earth. It's engraved more earth out of the ground. You know, it's pulled off more rocks. And so that is like Bitcoin. And then this little stream that goes off to the side is like the altcoin markets. It doesn't quite have as much volume. There hasn't been nearly as many people investing in it. It hasn't had as much time for the water to flow and to break through the areas and widen the river. So it's smaller, but it's deep. It's very small, but it's deep. And so when Bitcoin comes through and the flood seasons come, well, all this extra water runs off into the altcoin markets to the side and deepens the river and expands it, makes it wider, deeper, and this is what happens each cycle. The altcoins get bigger, their percentage dominance gets overall increased as more projects get added. And so what we're witnessing right now is we're witnessing the flood coming through Bitcoin, but the water isn't quite high enough to roll over into the other stream. So as the volume is coming in, as Bitcoin is filling up, we need more water to flow through to roll over into that other stream, that cross section. So you can imagine that there's kind of like a little bit of a wall of rocks in between the two. And you have to get enough water going through for the water to spill over from Bitcoin into the altcoin markets and for that stream, their side of the stream, to expand. So that's the way I look at it. So what I'm personally doing, I do have dollar tether ready to buy both Bitcoin and altcoins. But altcoins right now, as far as I can tell, are very, very oversold. Now, as Bitcoin is filling up, as that river is filling up, it's going to flood over into the altcoins, but it just takes time. You have to be patient, especially at the beginning of new bull markets. We often find that Bitcoin generally kind of takes the spotlight for the first little while while the new bull market is establishing itself. And so there's little times where the altcoins shine while we're still establishing the new market, but overall Bitcoin has a majority. So what do you do? How do you capitalize off of this? Well, first and foremost, you really want to be investing in the markets when the water is low. This river right here is actually very, very low. Now, this is Ashley Creek. It's a small little stream in Utah. And growing up in Utah on a farm, I actually spent a lot of time in the trees, in the wilderness. Spent a lot of time playing around in the water And this creek is very special to me, this creek, whatever. I know I have an accent. I've been told. This little stream, this little water stream, is a very special place to me because I have a lot of memories. Well, in the summer, this stream gets crazy. Like, there's so much water flowing through it because during the winter, so much snow gets on the mountains that in the spring, when everything starts thawing out, by the time the summer comes around, there's just so much water coming through the stream. Like, I couldn't even be sitting right now where I'm at. There would just be like 4 feet of water. I'd be thrown down the river. And that's exactly how the Bitcoin markets is. It's actually crazy how similar they are. This stream will be so small and so still, and nobody will notice it for 8 months, and then all of a sudden there's just 3 months out of the year that it just goes crazy, and there's water flowing through, and there's new pathways being formed, and it's taking 20-30 feet of dirt off the sidelines and just destroying the banks. And you could die if you get in the water in this period of time. It will literally kill you. And that's exactly how the markets work, especially the Bitcoin markets. It's so still and so quiet for so long. And then when the flood seasons come, that's when the real money is made, and that's when the real damage is done, metaphorically speaking. And so that is really what I want you guys to imagine when we're talking about altcoins, when we're talking about Bitcoin. They're both going to flood. A flood season is coming. We're starting to see the beginning of it. This is like the water starting to melt off the mountains. And the flood season will come. It will be crazy. The altcoins will explode. Everything will explode. The river will be flowing like crazy. The bank will, 20-30 feet of dirt off the banks will be taken off. It'll be a full-blown flood season. But you got to be patient. You got to understand that Bitcoin has to prime itself since it's the biggest kind of river. It's the biggest direction of the river. There's just little side streams that we call altcoins. And you have to be patient, you have to give it time. So that's what I want you guys to imagine. Remember that these markets are like this river, that they flow, that there's days that are strong, there's days that are weak. It's very similar to your life, maybe your emotions. And just be okay with it, be at peace with it. Learn to ride the cycles, invest in the days that nobody wants to touch it, when the stream is quiet. These are the days that you want to be investing because you know what's coming. You know the flood season is coming. And just calm yourself and accept that this is the way the markets work. And the more that you're at peace, as counterintuitive as it sounds, sometimes people want to be like, oh, I'm going to be a trader. So they drink like 10 energy drinks. Then they sit at their desk for like all day. And they sit there and they grind, and then they don't make any money because they're over trading and they're overthinking, and then they're drinking tons and tons of energy drinks and destroying their body. Just get out in nature and meditate and listen to what nature has to teach you. Spend some time alone, spend some time in quiet and solitude, listen to good positive audiobooks, and then spend a little bit of time investing and trading, you know? It doesn't have to be every day, it could be a few times a week. Just keep it extremely minimal and you will tune yourself into the same state of mind, the same frequency as the whales, and you'll start to see the games that are played in the markets. And because you're focusing on the big picture of what's happening, don't go too big picture. Some people I teach this to and then they never look at the markets at all, or they stop investing. Don't do that. The people that listen to me that do it correctly still look at the markets. They still trade the markets, but they just don't do it every day. They do it on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. So definitely, you know, when I say big picture, don't just like ignore the markets because you give up and you want to make money fast, and then you see that you have to wait weeks or months or years with your investments in there, and then you give up. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about investing when the tide is low and waiting for the high tide to come, and then reaping the rewards and the profit off of it over and over again, because the seasons are the same, the floods come over and over again, it's cyclical in nature, and you can profit off of it. So that's my video for the day. I love and appreciate you guys. As you guys know, I'm doing a 90-day no-fab journey, so go check out yesterday's video. I was gonna post it on my other channel, but I figured it's so related to my investing, and it helps me so much with my ability to create content, my ability to focus, my ability to speak with people, that I might as well share it to this channel that already has so many people that you know, you guys can benefit off of that knowledge and that wisdom, because it's helped me so much. So I'll keep you guys updated throughout that journey. It's going to be really exciting to see how my investing, my trading is affected, and to share all of that with you guys. My business stuff, because I have 2 other businesses I'm working on right now. I'm excited to share that stuff with you guys. So thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. Invest when the stream is low, and as always, stay profitable out there. Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty.